One time, this other lady called me. I think she was 54. She said she's 54. She called me to say, your husband yakhe uma bengekho esemsebenzini bekuba ngcono. So now he's at home. So this husband ufuna amagcansi. Like he wants to sleep with her. I mean, it's like you are my wife. We every day. So she's complaining like it's an everyday thing, every night, any day, anytime. So she's tired, and now she feels as if this guy is abusing her. So asisikhulume intimacy kuya kuyo nje lockdown ukuthi I mean yona ingena njani ilimata njani boma ke.
Yeah. Sesihlele endlini phela nyalo kude nokunye lesikwendako and ngivele omunye athi angithi futhi bo side chick akusenaso isikhathi sabo
bavalekile
sebavalekile nyalo, and I know that we are condoning it, but reality lesiphila kuyo. So babina make are now in the house together and we don't have anything else to do. Let's have sex. In the beginning it feels ngathi it's okay, it's fine. We haven't done this very for its but it's getting to a point where now it is too much, where now you realize that your partner has a high libido and that I cannot compete with, and now it's too much for me. Again, konke lokho dinto lekumele tikhulunywe, because as a couple if sobona nawe ukuthi le extent lesesesi busy ngayo seku too much for me and angisakhoni kumprovidela lokulakudingako, it's important that we can talk and engage around that and have that compromise ukuthi wena what can benefit you, how can I help you, nami ngikuncede njani. But you know, on the other hand also this has put a lot of pressure now on some women also, because now he's there I must prove a point, I must show my side. So a lot of people now say busy ngetinto letiningi, you know, double vaginal tightening and ensuring that their vaginas are great and clean and tight and pure, because uzama
kumbamba kulungisa nami ngikhona
so
mhlambe naphela lokhu angakhona
buyela khona. And I think let's make this moment, you know, the greatest and the best moment for him. So there's that pressure also of just being the best, you know. December we will see the impact of this, you know, maternity wards will be full with people December, January, because people have been busy also. So now you know, it must be done with the safety, you know, it mustn't be done to abuse your partner now. This person must now be your sex slave. Sex must be mutual. Both people must enjoy it. It mustn't only be done for the benefit of the one partner. The other partner must also be willing to engage in that. And even if there are other things that are done in terms of playing and in terms of trying out new things, it must be done in a safe way, you know. And the idea and the issue now, intimacy of condom use for those that have to, logo still needs to continue. People mustn't just engage in recklessly, but respect the other person and respect it, you know. Even in marriage, even in a proper good solid relationship, a no will still remain a no. When the other partner says agafuni, the other partner must hear that and not force themselves, because then it opens up things to go say, you raped me, but what is rape? How can I rape you? But if she had, or if he had said no, then they don't want to. So now and the tolerance of saying, as much as I would want my partner the whole day, I also need to understand what's in limitations, and I have to respect that.
I think lokunye kufuneke as women mhlambe sikhona ukuhlukanisa ukuthi am I doing this thing because I love doing it, I want to do it for my partner, or am I doing this thing because somehow ngifuna prove a point, ngifuna angibone like you are doing it for him, not for you, because definitely it will frustrate you. It will frustrate because you want approval from him, and if he doesn't approve, or actually tandla ukuthi oh baby you cooked very nice today ngidlile ngasutha, because we have seen a lot of women, well it's good ukuthi a lot of women bangenile kitchen bapheka, you know, different recipes yakopa lapha ku Facebook. But are you doing that now because you want to do it, or you're doing it because you're trying so hard ukuthi lona abone, because you know ukuthi you was cheating before, so now ngifuna kumbamba now on my angles? We are, because I mean you'll get tired. You'll get tired of trying to prove uthando lakho kulowo muntu loyo.
It is important even kulesikhathi lesi ukuthi in whatever sphere and space that you are, to remain true to you know. And I think uma vele sikule relationship uyamathi mngani wakho ukuthi umuntu lonjani, don't go over and above. And if you initially you had presented yourself in this particular manner, i-pressure nesidingo sokuthi now I must attempt to be Sibamtongana, whereas the only thing I can make is jungle oats, that's it. And so kumele kube nale acceptance and not the pressure now to try and prove a point. Even the cooking, akumele kube a stressful thing. Let it be fun. Yes. Let it be something that then we can all do together, because we are both at home now. Asizame kwenda. The problem sometimes with us, and I think that's why we have to go back to the basics of why we are together, why I married you, why I fell in love with you, why you fell in love with me. Because you fall in love with the idea of this beautiful psychologist, but this beautiful psychologist hates cooking. So now lockdown has shown that. So she hates cooking what? And so that's the reality of it now, in that I can't try and prove a point to you. And this is the person that you have married. This is the person that you have wanted to love. And that's the other problem relationship, when now the other person tries very much to impress the other. And it gets to a point where you can't. The mask now needs to come off. And this is what it is doing. The masks are coming off. Kugula kwebantu is being exposed, and now we have to deal with it. Yes.
So bo auntie bahambile sisele silelana and ngala ngifuna ku laptop we busy the business and akekho ngithola indlu, it's a mess. Then we start fighting. One another thing that we touched a bit, inzaba yayo gender-based violence, it's ekwenyuka, and we've seen a lot of women being killed lately during this lockdown. So something must tell us, there's something wrong. As much as labanye basho ukuthi no, this thing has been going on since back then. But ngathi lockdown iyende yapusha, because labantu nyalo seba together always.
There is definitely something wrong, Sis Lungile. Concept yema relationships and what relationships mean, and what we get kulawo relationships, and how we treat each other kuma relationships. So kuyafihlakala uma siba busy ngetimpilo tethu nyalo sekuyabonakala ukuthi our relationships are wrong, my foundation wethu are wrong, and maybe perhaps isilungile we get into those spaces for wrong reasons, and asikhoni vele ku tolerateana. But it then goes back to also the foundation now of our emotional well-being, because remember masingena kulama relationships, we are two individual human beings. Ngida nemthwalo wami, nawe uda nemthwalo wakho. So angicali nyalo kuba le monster lekushayako lekukhulumelako lekubangela msindo, ngikuthola somewhere. And I think this is now an opportunity for us, the ones that are parenting children, to know and to start changing the prescripts of parenting, because for the abuser to be the abuser, uqale somewhere. There's somewhere la kuvela khona lobuhlungu lese kakukhiphela nyalo, ukhiphela kunkosikazi wakhe, ukhiphela kumfati wakhe, ukhiphela kundoda yakhe, ukhiphela nasebantwaneni. So the violence lese siyibona nyalo ikhombisa nje lobuhlungu le kuba khona in our upbringing and how we have normalized violence, you know. Kulama adverts that are going around, they are saying, so now as a neighbor you must be alert to msindo wakamakhelwane. It also highlights the fact ukuthi asisanandzaba, asisekho caring. Uma uva msindo wangaphandle uyadithulela nje, awufuni ukuthi ingene, angithi ingene. The high walls have stopped that. Even if it's in a complex, awudingeni tindzaba naselokishini awusatingeni batotibona laphaya kamakhelwane. We have become an uncaring nation that a lot of the things have been happening and we've been pretending as though atendeki. And so now, you know, I think in every sphere, yempilo, socially, in health, in economy, you know, the lockdown is actually exposing a lot of illnesses good community to that. Now moving forward, we somehow have to find a way of dealing and correcting it.